purpose is to encourage the different colleges in the different regions of the country to set up and to hold regional festivals, smaller areas, so that they can come together from the many different colleges that are members and experience with each other new ways of working in dance.
I think it's fantastic. I don't think that anybody should live in isolation, including the universities and colleges around this country. I feel that if you're isolated, you lose a great deal in reference to where you're going, where you're coming from. You lose stimulation, and I think it's very important for young people to get together. I think they should see what other people are doing.
In 1973, a committee of educators and dance professionals initiated a pilot regional festival held at the University of Pittsburgh. 3 adjudicators, Rod Rogers, Hanya Holm, and Marion Van Tool, traveled to 25 colleges across the country to select dances to be performed at the festival. With the participation of more than 500 dancers, the event was a success.
Welcome to another episode of Art and Stage. This is Heidi Hardy. I'm your host, and we have some great guests in the studio today, and that video, we'll go back to it a little bit later in the show. But that introduces our spotlight today, and our spotlight is on the American College Dance Association. It's not the festival anymore. And it's a resource. And one of the things about Art and Stage is we like to bring resources to our listeners and viewers and talk about what's out there, what is available if you are a budding or aspiring dancer, but also if you are someone who wants to become more involved in the dance community. That's going to be something that we'll cover today. So I'm very excited. We have Meyer Costin in the studio today. Hi, Meyer.
Hi, Hardy. We were just talking about her last name. Now she's got me stuck on it.
Heidi Hardy.
No, Hardy now. You're Hardy from now on.
That's okay. I've been called worse. And we have Tiffany Arnold. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to our family. We're very excited to have you, and we're excited about the show, because I think there's going to be a lot of fun and great information. But before we get started, one of the things that we always like to do is thank our sponsor. And so if everybody will, grab their cup and raise their cup, I want to make sure that we give our sponsor an opportunity to hear more about what they have going on. Thank you, Park Place Volvo. And for being the sponsor of Art and Stage. We're very proud to be a part of you as well. You want a car that's perfect for you and your family, with plenty of power, outstanding safety, state-of-the-art technology, not to mention dashing good looks. In other words, you want the total package. And believe me, no car gives it to you like Volvo, especially when you get it at Park Place. Park Place Volvo is offering the 2017 S60 Inscription from just $389 a month with zero cash due at signing. It's the ultimate luxury sports sedan with incredible handling and comfort. Oh yeah, and some of the most beautiful Swedish design this side of Stockholm. Super smooth to drive and super low on fuel consumption, with a 4-cylinder turbocharged and supercharged engine, plus cool technology like smartphone controlled engine remote start, advanced senses infotainment system, and a built-in Wi-Fi hotspot, all standard, which is fabulous. Park Place is also including the Inscription package as the S60, which ups the ante on style with 18-inch titanium alloy wheels and modern wood inlays. Like I said, it's the total package, and nothing completes it like Park Place. It's unlike any other dealership you've ever visited, where you'll be treated and respected with respect and personal attention. How personal? Well, they have a one-touch sales process with a single associate who's with you the whole way. Forget about being handed off. At their service, and their service people are just as on top of their game, always greeting you by name, making sure your car gets the expert treatment. All while you lounge in total luxury with gourmet coffee, free Wi-Fi, flat screen TVs, and even a dedicated kids area. Yeah, I knew some of you would appreciate that. Total peace of mind and total perfect Volvo experience. That's Park Place. Stop by their Dallas location now or visit parkplace.com to browse current inventory, schedule a test drive, and experience Volvo performance in a dealer. Thank you, Park Place. You know, we read this. Tracy does a fantastic job. He's got this radio voice going on. But every time I read it, you know, I pick up something new, and buying cars, they make it kind of hard. When you have a place like Park Place that it makes, you know, there's coffee, there's a lounge, there's a kids area, it's not so bad.
And good-looking cars.
Oh my gosh, the cars are beautiful.
Well, it's all about the customer service.
It is, and they're known for fantastic customer service. So thank you for your sponsorship. Thank you for supporting Art and Stage, and we all appreciate you very, very much. So before we get started, though, with the show, I have to share with everybody, last week I had shared that I was going to American in Paris show at the Bass Hall, and they were kind enough to give me some tickets, me and my husband. So I didn't tell my husband anything about it, and he had not seen the movie, or he had no. He's like, "What was this about? What's this about?" You know, the whole time we were driving. And when we got there, and he's great. He's up for anything new. But we got there, we got seated. It was kind of a little bit of rush trying to get everything taken care of. From the very beginning, that show just grabs you. It flows. I don't know if you've seen it, but they don't have set changes. The curtain doesn't come down. It just automatically, everybody's dancing all the time. I was exhausted just watching them.
The sets are incredible.
The sets are beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
And the actors, or the dancers and actors, they were really believable, and they brought that story to life. So it's just, I'm not going to give it away, but it's about love, American in Paris. And my husband said something really cute. He said, I guess when we fell in love, I felt like dancing. He said, I know it didn't look like that. And I said, yeah. So they're sort of bringing that experience to real life. And so I encourage, people to find, whether it's American in Paris, I think they've closed, but there's more shows coming up all summer long and all season long. And so give it a try. You'll love it. It's a great date. We had a wonderful time. So thumbs up on American in Paris. And you've seen it, Maya?
I saw it over here at the Dallas Summer Musicals Music Hall at Fair Park. And yes, it's a phenomenal show. And one of our board members, Carter Alexander, knew the lead dancer, the young lady, and her twin sister that fills in for her. They interchange
I didn't know that.
roles.
Wow.
Yeah, they were at Miami City Ballet when he was the ballet master there. And I think another one of the dancers, the cast, was one of his, so he got to visit backstage.
Yeah, I mean, it was just magical. And obviously, Tiffany, you're a dancer, and you perform, and so I don't know if the dancers always know how life-changing it can be, or at least rewarding and beautiful to us. Again, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm not gonna read your bio, but I'm gonna tell them a little bit about you, and then we're gonna talk this first little segment about the American College Dance Association.
Sure.
Before we get started, we do have Christy Nelson on the phone. Hi,
Great.
Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you all doing?
Good. Thank you. Sound
Doing
great.
very well.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Well, Christy, thank you for calling in. I know you're busy and you're doing a lot of different things, and so we are looking forward to your contribution. And we haven't even gotten started, so I'm going to introduce Tiffany, and then I know you have a couple of questions and some information to share with the viewers and listeners about the Dance Council. So Tiffany Arnold. There's 3 initials after your name, MFA.
Correct.
What does that stand for?
Master of Fine Arts.
Okay, awesome. Currently serves at the dance discipline lead and professor of dance at Collin College. She began as associate part-time dance faculty in the dance department in August of 1997, transitioned into the full-time dance professor and dance program coordinator in August 1998. and has maintained as dance department chair and professor of dance for the last 18 years. Currently, she also serves as the artistic director for the student performing company Colin Dance Ensemble. So, that doesn't sum up all of you. So we'll get to more of you later.
Okay.
But it does help us understand sort of, what you do today. I do know that you're on the National Board of Directors for the American College Dance Association.
Correct.
So
Correct.
tell us a little bit about the Dance Association.
Sure. Well, I currently serve as a second term elected board member. I am on the South Central. We're in the South Central region. I am the only 2-year educator that's on that board for South Central, which means that my colleagues all work in higher education as well. However, they're all at a 4-year institution. Okay. And so our particular region of South Central has grown in the number of 2-year dance programs that we've had be a part of the organization. And so as I've been a part of the organization for many years here, I've noticed that shift and change. And that's what prompted me to want to be on the board, was to have a voice for the 2-year dance program alongside those 4-year dance program voices. And I have enjoyed serving on the board. It's been a nice change of administration. I do administration and education every day, choreography, artistic voices, but to also be part of a greater national organization has been a great honor.
Fantastic.
Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, I was going to ask you, what other 2-year colleges in this area are members?
So we're the South Central region, which is the state of Texas and New Mexico. The organization, ACDA, I know in the press promo at the beginning it said festival. That's because that's where it started. It started as a festival of a collection of schools coming together. But over the years, it's really gone beyond that, and it's turned itself more into a conference mentality of really featuring research and scholarly activities. So beyond just coming together and seeing dance, there's learning even more beyond what you see in a theater stage, kind of like what you're talking about, American in Paris. And so with that particular organization, it's all about higher education dance. So we will have a lot of our university programs in the state of Texas and New Mexico. They're a part of it, and that includes graduate programs. But then the 2-year institution, like I was saying, has been really engaging more into this kind of association and organization. And so Collin College, Tarrant County, we've also got the Dallas County of Brookhaven, El Paso Community College, we're talking about Houston Community College, San Jacinto. So amongst those big schools, UT and SMU and TCU and Texas Women's, you've also got your 2-year programs right alongside there.
Sure. You're expecting a lot of people.
Yeah.
Do you know how many?
Yeah, we're going to have over 400
wow.
on our campus. We are the first 2-year institution to host this conference in our region.
Wow. Congratulations.
I know, it's so exciting. It's so exciting because
it's probably due to your leadership on the board.
Well, I think it's not so much about the leadership on the board as much as it is just being a part of the organization and being really committed to what it stands for, about the promoting of dance as an educational route, that many times we see dance as more of an outlet or just more for those creative folks, but to really feature it as a higher education academic study is just really, really impressive. And so I think that we've been able to get the support of our institution and our administrators at Collin to support this endeavor so that we could be the first 2-year institution to host. Our students love being able to go to Texas Tech or to Sam Houston State or go to TCU or to these other institutions that host. But we thought, we want them to come to our home. We can do it at our home too.
Absolutely.
So we are looking forward to having everyone arrive next week on Thursday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Christy, we haven't given you a chance to chime in yet, but we're going to take a quick break with our first
Sure.
video, and then we'll come right back and talk more to Tiffany and bring you in. We'll be right back.
Sounds great.
Thanks.
Welcome back. You're listening to Art and Stage Talk Show presented by the Dance Council of North Texas. This is Heidi Hardy, and welcome back. We started the show talking about a couple of things, but most importantly, we introduced Tiffany Arnold. Hello, Tiffany. Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Heidi.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome. And Meyer is here.
Hello.
She's a familiar face to us all, and I appreciate both of you ladies being here. But even a wonderful addition to us in the studio is Christy Nelson, who's on the phone with us. Hi, Christy.
Hi.
Yay. So I know she's Christy does a lot for the Dance Council. One of the things, Christy, I want to give you an opportunity to do is let's plug the Dance Council right now with what we have going on and how anyone who's watching or listening now or in our on-demand site can really help us grow and support us in different ways.
Absolutely. Well, so if you've not met me before, or if you've not heard my voice on the phone or via email, I'm the advertising manager for the Dance Council. And we have a wonderful opportunity coming up. We have Dance Planet 21, which is coming up right around the corner,
Amazing.
which is
21
going to be held at Booker T. Washington High School on April 9th. And this is your opportunity to advertise with the Dance Council. We have great offers or great rates on advertising in our souvenir program with Dance Planet, ranging from as low as $75 for an ad all the way up to $425. And for more information on that, you can always email me, Christy Nelson, at advertising@thedancecouncil.org. You can call our office at 214-219-2290. And you can also get more information on our website, which is thedancecouncil.org.
Yes, thank you. Please give
Absolutely.
Christy shoot her an email or give her a call and help us spread the word about this awesome event. So, Christy,
Yes.
you had a couple of questions, and I thought they were great. So why don't you jump right in with us and ask your questions?
Absolutely. Well, first off, I have to say that the video that we were just showing is one of my favorites that Colin has presented at ACDA, and I actually didn't get to see it live when it was performed because I was backstage at the time. So it's great to be able to have video of dance. And that particular work, being a modern work, I know that modern and contemporary has had such an impact in higher education dance as well as ACDA. So, Tiffany, I was wondering if you could talk about modern and contemporary and its impact on ACDA and the conference.
Well, sure. Well, I think modern dance is rooted in history, where we can think of, Martha Graham and Paul Taylor and Merce Cunningham. And, with the association starting as a festival in 1973, where it was a lot about modern dance and postmodern dance, and Merce Cunningham's company was even featured. I think that over the years, as society has embrace technology and more diversity, we start to see that contemporary field come in. And I think that has a lot to do some with studios and the type of dancer that's coming out of a studio as well. And so I think how it influences the association is that it just brings it more to the community. And I think that that's what our students are doing. They're coming to us from high school into a college, whether it's a 2-year program or a 4-year program. And we as an educational institution adjust, adapt, and embrace. And so I think that's what ACDA is all about, is featuring and showcasing what's happening in the classrooms across the nation.
Absolutely.
Well, it's definitely one of my favorites. Big fan of So You Think You Can Dance, and I'm a big fan of other programming. I think it's one of my favorites because it does have a lot of the choreographer's personality in it, and the different messages that that they're trying to relay. So definitely.
That's kind of the heart of modern and contemporary is that it has an intention behind it. There's a meaning, there's a story, whether there's a narrative or not, or whether there's just a theme trying to come across. And I think our community of students can really embrace that because we know that they have something they want to say. An interesting attribute to our conference that we're having next week are some of the presentations and panels that are going to be taking place. And Charles Anderson, who's on faculty at UT Austin, is going to be doing a panel on how dance is a medium for political change and social awareness, and how over the years, especially in these last several years at this particular conference, there are more and more themes that deal with racism, that deal with, conflict, that deal with a lot of what's happening in society, and how we as dance artists have a voice to say, and a body with which to move to express ourselves. And so I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say about how we can continue to change the world through dance.
I love it. I would agree with that. One of the things that I've talked about with some of the other guests is this political climate. Obviously, there's no skirting it. If you're on Facebook, if you're watching the news, you hear something every day about our political climate, and there's things to be considered, like the immigration controversy right now. We have dancers coming from all over the world to the United States, and we want to make sure that they feel welcome. And so there's a lot of there could be some trepidation and concern, and it's always interesting to me when it's expressed peacefully and powerfully in dance.
Absolutely. And because this particular region encompasses all of Texas, our southern schools as well have a lot of things to say
Yeah,
about that immigration and about
absolutely.
what's happening in their home lives. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing the types of choreography that will be presented at the conference this next week. Student works can be presented, faculty works and guest artist works can be presented. And usually it's those student voices that get everybody talking in the audience.
Sure, absolutely. What's that second question, Christy?
Sure. So not many teachers can say that they're still performing this far into their career, Tiffany.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I
Thank
have to
you.
say, how do you balance your life as an artist, a teacher, and a parent? Because a lot of young students out there right now are thinking, oh, how do I do all of this? So
Yeah.
can you speak to that?
Sure, absolutely. And I'm not the only one. You as well I could flip the question to you. And I think we probably would have some similar traits as well as some differences of how
Right.
we cope. But I think that, my landing where I'm at a 2-year institution was meant to be, in that I was meant to be in an area of education where I can mold and ease their transition to the next place. Because I understand the fears and the expectations, and I can help guide them in that process of where they need to go next. I also feel that I'm supposed to be at a 2-year institution to model a working mom, a performer, someone who's over the age of 30, let's say, and it's still performing. And I think I'm supposed to model that not only for my own children, my own 2 girls, but also for the young students that I have in my classroom, that I am
Right.
still learning, that I am still vulnerable on the studio stage or the concert stage. I am still teaching in the studio. I'm still being creative, and I'm juggling it with having now a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Now that shocks me. I was thinking, baby, a couple
She
days.
said she was 30.
No, I'm way over 30. Let's just kind of double that, not double that, but let's not double that.
It's
But
all
let's
that
just add
dancing. You
10
look
and a 6 maybe, then maybe we're there.
10 and a 6.
Those are like teenagers and
Yeah,
preteen.
I do.
Wow.
I've got a 14-year-old right now. So, Christy, I think your question is that we just have to do the best we can and prioritize as we can, and remember that one day at a time and one activity at a time, and
Right.
and just give ourselves permission to say no and permission to say yes.
Well,
And as dancers and as educators, I think it's hard to do that sometimes.
Absolutely. It's very
And
difficult.
parents.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I was just telling the ladies before we started, like I told my husband, I'm like, okay, these next several weeks, I'm not doing laundry. I'm not doing dishes. I pray that things will be continuing to run as I focus on this conference and do these things. So we'll see. But
Yeah,
you got to have that good support system.
absolutely.
and Christy, I mean, you also work at the college.
Yes, ma'am.
So your colleague. You also continue to dance, correct?
That is correct. Yeah, I've been teaching at Collin. I think it's going on 5 years now. I mean, it just feels like I started yesterday. So,
Right.
Being in the moment of teaching, and just like Tiffany said, being able to take every day one step at a time, it's really a blessing to be able to teach dance and to empower the students. So just being able to work alongside her and all the other supportive faculty that we have is just really wonderful.
Well,
We hold each other together.
That's for sure.
I can tell, absolutely. And camaraderie and support is needed in all industries for sure. And so,
Absolutely.
we thank you so much for calling in.
thanks,
We hope, we hope to continue to bring you on and help us, get educated about what's going on at the Dance Council and how people can advertise with us. And one of the things that we're trying to make sure that we convey to our members and to other organizations that we collaborate with is, utilize us as an advertising arm, a public PR arm, a marketing arm, because one of the things I hear from a lot of nonprofit organizations, and not just arts, but a lot of nonprofit, is that that's one of the things that gets lost in the fray and the budget. There's no money for marketing or hiring a marketing firm, and there's so the Dance Council offers a unique opportunity to do some affordable advertising with in front of a lot of people, and they've been here for we've been here for a long time. So please do give Christy a call or an email. And Christy, will you repeat that for us real fast?
Yes, my email is advertising@thedancecouncil.org, and our phone number in the office is 214-219-2290.
Okay.
The Dance Council is just such a great resource.
Thank you.
I mean, I get students all the time, or parents or community members searching for something, and I always send them to the Dance Council because I know that they'll connect people with the people they need.
Awesome. Well, we're going to take another quick break, take a look at another wonderful video. And one of the things that I want to do when we come back, you mentioned modern art isn't just about being a tree. So modern dance, I'm sorry.
Art too, I guess.
It's artistic, yes. I want to hear more about that.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back.
At Cullen College, the art of dance is used as a vehicle for the development of self-discipline, the recognition of diversity, the pursuit of excellence, and the expansion of aesthetics. The dance department at Cullen College is an ideal place to begin your dance training and to continue your dance training.
I feel so honored and blessed to be able to dance in front of a live audience and in a professional theater, and Cullen College gives me this opportunity with the dance department.
The dance department offers multiple levels of dance technique, from beginning to advanced, in modern, ballet, jazz, hip-hop, and tap, as well as Pilates, ballroom, point, dance improvisation, choreography, and dance appreciation. In addition to the variety of dance genre and levels, dance students benefit from low student-teacher ratios, one-on-one mentoring with full-time faculty, exceptional facilities, live accompaniment, master classes with guest artists, and the opportunity to perform each semester.
The dedication to excellence the department inspires fosters in me a drive to dance harder, which is nice because I want to study musical theater.
I don't just like studying dance, I love it. The Cullen Dance Department is unique to me because of the opportunities they give to all of students with or without any dance experience.
Cullen College dance students have successfully transferred into university dance programs, including Texas Christian University, Texas Women's University, The Ohio State University, Sam Houston State University, University of Central Oklahoma, Cal Arts, Texas A&M University, and the University of Texas at Austin.
I took a dance appreciation class and learned that there was more than ballet to the dance world. Cullen is a very non-competitive environment, which motivates me to do my best work.
Whether you are continuing or beginning your dance training, Cullen College will prepare you for your next step. Contact us to discover why our students proudly say, I dance at Cullen.
My name is Mary and I dance at Cullen.
My name is Brian, and I dance at Cullen.
My name is Nick Cow, and I dance at Cullen.
My name is Amanda and I dance at Cullen.
Welcome back. This is Heidi Hardy. You're listening to Art and Stage Talk Radio Show. We are having a great show. We have a special guest in studio, Tiffany Arnold. Thank you for being here. And Meyer Costin. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm still here.
Good, good. We love having you. So if you're just tuning into the show has a spotlight on the American College Dance Association. And because we wanted to make sure to share with anyone who is dance that is looking for the I guess there's an association of educators out there that are pulling together to ensure that opportunity is available. The Collin College that you work at, you had mentioned that it's a 2-year college. I will tell you, as a parent, I really appreciate that 2-year. When we're on break, you mentioned, these are right out of high school. This is a college environment, not a university, not a big, huge university, but it's an environment, and it's a really great segue if they do. Talk just for a few minutes about the 2-year degree that they can obtain and what that does for them.
Absolutely. Well, one of the great things about Collin is that it is affordable, it is accessible, and it's a great education. And I see a lot of students coming to Collin because they're emotionally not quite ready for that big step of being at a 4-year institution, or academically just want to make sure that they are ensuring those grades, or financially just wanting to go somewhere that's a little bit more affordable. But what's nice about the 2-year program, especially within the dance department, is that it's really laying the foundation for the next place. And our whole mission within the department is, where are you going to go next? And so it's not just about finishing an Associate of Arts degree, but it's about, where's your transfer location? What's your next university going to, where's your next home going to be? And so that they can be successful in the next place. And I'm usually pretty transparent with the parents about that as well when they come in and talk, as well as the students, that yes, I want them to be successful here and get their graduate with their associate's degree, but it really is about where you're going to go and get your bachelor's degree as well. And our students have great success with transferring to these other universities. There's quite a bit of partnership, and there's also that kind of sense of community of understanding what type of dancer they're getting from Collin that is adaptable for their program. So Associate of Arts degree with electives in dance. So those students are getting those first core classes out of the way, the math, the English, the science. And then they can choose their electives, whether they're theater, art, dance, whether they choose to go into the nursing program or any other program. So for us, it's the dance department and those dance electives, everything from ballet, modern jazz, hip hop, tap, ballroom, Pilates, choreography classes, dance appreciation, etc. So it's a pretty comprehensive program, and just thrilled to have the students that are there and are thriving.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's again a great opportunity for parents that, like you said, there's all kinds of reasons to start in that 2-year. And the other thing I like about it is the accomplishment. Right after 2 years, that seems more tangible. That seems more attainable for some kids that aren't quite ready for.
Well, everybody has their own situation. Some students are responsible for taking care of their younger siblings, and so they have to be close to home or help take care of mom and dad. We have a student right now who has a disabled parent, and so she has to make sure that she works her schedule around the needs that she has at home. But dance can be for everyone. It isn't for everyone, but it can be for everyone.
If your heart's there. And I know, Meyer, you danced also, and you don't currently dance.
Oh, I need to be dancing. I don't even think I could get out of a Grand Plie unless it was in second.
Well, I could let you borrow my knee brace.
Oh my God! How about a little
As a matter of fact, we'll go to break and then you can do that for us.
No, yes. I need someone on either side to pull me back up.
Okay, well, Heidi, me, we can.
Oh yeah, right.
No, I love hearing your dance background, Meyer, and she's so dedicated to the Dance Council, and you can tell she has got that passion for dance. And ballet is your background, correct? So I'm learning very quickly the vernacular, and I'm so proud of myself. Sometimes, like, I know what that means. But one of the things that before we went to break is I said I'm really interested in this modern dance because you said something, and I don't even know if you realized that you said it. Something about weird kids get to go to college, or send those weird, and I love weird. I mean, if you're going to use that word, the opportunity for someone who feels held to dance and do can be looked at by others as weird, but the expression that they repeating myself, talk to us about modern dance and how that is it isn't for everybody, like you said, but there's something there for these
everyone.
Dancers.
For everyone, yeah.
I
I want to share with you a quick story that happened this week in my classroom. I teach a intro-level modern dance class, and one of the things we were exploring this week was improvisation, and how improvisation in the body and giving them problems to solve and solving them with their bodies. And after a good probably 20 to 30 minutes of exploration and guided improvs, I was like, okay, and they progressively got more and more interested, and then it became clapping for one another as they were going across in groups, and then just the energy in the room had changed from this kind of like, I've got to be perfect, I've got to be right, to a community that was just in a matter of 20 minutes that just their eyes lit up, and they were, like I said, they were clapping for one another, and I was soliciting feedback from them and comments and trying to get a dialogue started, and one of my international students said, oh, it just feels weird. And I was like, okay, talk to me more about what weird means.
Yeah.
Well, like, I don't know, it just felt free, and, like I could do anything. And I'm like, yeah. So why do we as a society say that weird is bad? Isn't weird great? Like, when we talk about that, and like when we say, let's be huge, society says that huge is a bad thing, not in dance. We want to be huge. Mm-hmm. We want to take up as much space as possible. We want to be just physically, at our highest. Yeah. And so we were discussing as a class, how we could describe things in a little bit more fuller manner than that weird.
Yeah. but that's such a great story, because that's exactly, when I think of weird, I think of, good feelings and good things and out of the ordinary. Mm-hmm. And so I just think that the definition is different for those people who might be watching that don't really know what modern dance is.
Sure.
I know you're a choreographer today, so tell us what that is.
Well, modern dance is an actual breakaway from ballet. So, it developed because someone wanted to take off the corset and take off the shoes and let down the hair and be connected to the earth, rather than be those ballerinas that are defying gravity. Mm-hmm. And instead, why don't we embrace gravity? And so it is a very expressive and artistic dance form, and because of the breaking from ballet, those point shoes which elevate you off the floor even higher from gravity, you're barefoot, so you can connect with the ground and you can connect with the earth. Mm-hmm. And so it's very expressive, it's very interpretive, it's very freeing, it has a lot of individuality. However, it does still have a set of discipline and structure because of, breaking from ballet, and but maybe where you're always turned out in ballet, you start to work in parallel. Mm-hmm. Modern is one of our most popular classes at the institution, in addition to our ballroom and our hip hop. But students clearly have a need and a desire to want to express themselves in kind of a more artistic way with their bodies.
I find it absolutely beautiful, because it has the ballet lines,
mm-hmm.
and the athleticism.
You still have to have the core. You still
completely.
Have, all those being able to balance and all that kind of stuff. You don't have the restriction of, it has to always be this.
A set of prescribed vocabulary,
right.
Whereas you really can do. But it still is rooted in the fundamentals of anatomy and kinesiology, mm-hmm. a lot like what you would study for a traditional ballet class.
Correct.
So as a choreographer, what is there a lot of pressure to create unique steps and movements, and how do you approach that?
Yeah, I think it's different for every artist, probably.
Okay.
I think we all create because we have something we want to say.
Mhm.
I know over the years, my creative voice has really been about creating work that can be accessible to different audience types. I don't really care if the audience gets what I'm trying to say as long as they're moved in some way, have some sort of aesthetic reaction to it. And I know there are other artists that are a lot about, oh, what does it say to me? And I think I look at it a little bit more academic in that I know that my student population that I might be creating on needs just a little bit more guidance in making it accessible to all.
When you say accessible,
Well, so if a parent comes into the theater, or anyone for that matter comes into the theater to watch the performance, they might think it's weird, right? But they also might say, "But man, that was kind of cool."
yeah.
So I didn't really get it, but I know you were like looking over there to that corner, so I knew something was at that corner. But it was weird, but it was cool. Yeah, it was kind of cool,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's accessible. Whereas, you were speaking about American in Paris. That's, coming from that musical theater, it's all very accessible. But when you start to think about looking at a piece of choreography that has something to say about from that particular artist, a vulnerability there, and want to create a work where our audience will come back for the next night.
Right.
In the seats too.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're creating choreography, what is it down? So a writer will write down deep in life experiences, help express ourselves through our.
Sometimes I think it's really dependent on the project that's in front of me. One of the things that I remember when I was pregnant with my first daughter, I did a very physical piece because I just couldn't be quite so physical, and the bass, and she would kick in there, so but is that about, anything in particular other than just that I wanted to create a physical piece? No. And I think each project is a little different. There's a work I created that was based off the Book of Judas, which was
very interesting.
Yeah, and that had been kind of milling around in my head for several years until I had the right student at the right time to create that work about Judas.
Right.
And so. And then like this last semester, I did a great collaborative piece with our dance musician to a trio of songs by George Gershwin. So, it just is, it's that's what's so great about modern dance and dance in general is that it's accessible to everyone. And you don't always have to be that artist that is angst driven or showy, but there can be a little bit of both in your repertoire.
Yeah. I just find it fascinating. And I feel like when I watch modern dance specifically, there is something, there's a message, and sometimes it's not as apparent. You're almost trying to interpret it into your own life.
And that's what we want as choreographers. We want you to have your reaction. We don't want you to figure it out on our behalf.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit harder for some audience members is to know that what they got out of it is okay. Like it doesn't have to be right.
Yeah.
I think, society tells us we've got to be a certain way or, and it just isn't that. You just come in and enjoy and experience it and take away something. And it's usually the works that you think about the next night or, if you go see a show on Friday, what are you still thinking about on Sunday? Those are always the most interesting things to discuss.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we definitely want to encourage people to check out the different. Do you have any particular one that you like to visit for modern?
Well,
I know I was putting you on the spot.
No, it's fine. I mean, obviously, Fair Park is great for the big musicals and the big, performance spaces, and then the Performing Arts Center, the AT&T Performing Arts Center is always a beautiful one, with MoMix coming in, last year or year and a half ago. In terms of a favorite performance space, no. I mean, Paul Taylor is always up there at the Eisman Center up in Richardson. I think, honestly, it's just go wherever wherever there's dance.
Yeah.
I'm a part of L Danceworks Dance Company,
That's
which
right.
is
Tell us a little bit about that.
celebrating their 20th anniversary this year, which is a
Yay,
really great
congratulations.
accomplishment for a local dance company.
I remember them way back.
Well, they're still there.
Dallas Morning News Dance Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they're celebrating 20 years, and for several of their years, they were always at the Bathhouse Cultural Center in Dallas, and made a great space there. And there are professional artists in residence at Collin, and so they perform in our black box in the summer as well. So I don't know if it's really about a favorite venue as much as it is about just go out and see dance.
Just go find something that
Just
you
try
can
it,
enjoy
yeah.
and try it. Yeah. Well, Danielle was here, Danielle Giorgio, and I really enjoyed her as well. She described her choreography and her, the quirky, and she Flower production not too long ago, and it sounded like a lot of fun, and we were talking before the show that's kind of part of the message here at the Dance Council. You haven't necessarily, if you are a ballet fan, try a modern dance performance, and even it doesn't even have to be dance. It can be an opera or something that expands your mind and gives you the opportunity to something a little bit different. I know the opportunity to be with my and had that, like you said, we talked about it afterwards, and then people asked us, and so
You tried some of the dance steps, didn't you?
Do this lift. Do the lift again. Let's try it.
Liar! I wasn't going to tell anybody.
I know.
Tripping the light, fantastic. I love it. But yeah, I mean that's part of it, and so we really only have a few more minutes, and I can't thank you enough for bringing your message. Advice for the future. Last minute piece of advice that you'd like to give anyone thinking about going to college, or parents that are fostering a budding dancer? What?
I think the biggest advice is when you go into whatever the institution is, whether it's a 2-year program or a 4-year program, is to self-disclose that you're a dancer. I think a lot of our advisors are all about specific coursework, and I think if students self-disclose right from the very beginning to that advisor that they're a dancer, they're more likely to find a network of community of people, and they'll be lined up with classes that would work for that dance class or that dance career. And I think use your resources, not only the Dance Council, but I get phone calls and people coming to my office all the time that I just give my usual spiel of, sometimes it's not about what your degree is going to be, but what it's not going to be.
Sure.
You don't want to deal with kids, or you don't want to do mathematics, or you don't want to work with animals. Narrow it down by taking things away rather than having this whole idea of all these careers. What am I going to do? I'm going to pick this one.
Right.
Take them out so the pool's a little smaller. And then I think a lot of it's also about communication. I think students need to communicate with their parents if they have an interest in doing a career in the arts, because sometimes they need a little bit more understanding of where that's going to go next. And so that requires students to do a little bit more research. I have students that I say, go research the school you're interested in, find out where their alumni are, tell mom and dad what your backup plan is, and have an adult conversation about what your interests are.
Well, thank you. I mean, that's great advice. We really appreciate you again
Thank
for
you.
being here. You've been lovely. Thank you, Meyer, for being here. You're listening to Art and Stage Talk Radio, another wonderful episode. Next week, don't miss it. It's going to be Joel Farrell with the Dallas Theater Center, and I hear he's fabulous. So we're going. Thank you so much, Park Place, for your sponsorship, and Meyer. Next week.
For them. I started dancing when I was 6, so very young, and I just love how I can use it as a tool of expression, an outlet for anything I may be feeling, and just put everything I have into it.
I dance because it makes me feel fully alive, and it helps me share my humanity with the humanity that's around me.
I tend to be a kind of shy person, so when I'm on stage, it's like I get to be anybody I want to be.
I dance because it gives me this inner tranquility. It gives me this silence that I don't have to hear the outside world. It's my own inner peace. I can always go back to it, and it'll always be there for me.
I dance because it's a way for me to know that everything in the world is okay. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life or in somebody else's life. As long as you can dance, you know that something is going right.
I dance because it is a means for me to experience a fully functioning self. Like, all the parts of myself are coming together to speak.
There's something that movement captures that words can't, and it's a necessity for communication and everything in life. It's a spiritual art form.
ACDF is always one of my favorite things because it's such a great opportunity to see what kind of art is being made at other universities and interact with other students and to build connections.
Meeting so many different people and seeing just dance.
Debbie Allen and just like great people who have been here before us, and it's cool how much history and like just greatness has been on the stage before you, and like you're on it now.
Today, we honor our founding members' vision of a community dedicated to dance.